John Devney here, Senior Vice President of Delta Waterfowl. What I want to spend a little time talking about today is what is Delta doing on the breeding grounds that matter to you as a duck hunter. Delta's got a long tradition of focusing our efforts on the prairie breeding grounds because we know that's what drives duck production, that's what drives duck populations, and ultimately drives better duck hunting for you. If you go back into Delta's history, it's Delta that pioneered great work on predator management to see if it was a tool that can benefit duck production, and it clearly does. At about the same time, Delta started innovating on hen houses, which have proven to be one of the most cost-effective ways to send more mallards south each fall. So it's that sort of work that Delta brings that can benefit hunters all over, but especially helps put more young ducks in the fall flight, which, as we find out, is increasingly important for southern duck hunters. One of the things that probably doesn't get talked about as much is how Delta works on habitat to benefit large blocks of the prairie nesting grounds in order to both secure the habitat base and increase duck production. When it comes to breeding ducks, the most important element is small wetlands. Small wetlands are the engine that drives the prairie nesting grounds. And frankly, we can have years where we have lots and lots of precipitation, but without those small wetland basins, nothing can happen good from a duck production perspective. So Delta spends a lot of time on things like the Farm Bill, on Swamp Buster, on CRP, to make sure that the prairie nesting grounds are in the best possible shape for producing ducks in the coming years. One of the key innovations that Delta worked on in this last Farm Bill is working on a program that we've been talking about called Working Wetlands, looking for a new solution to deal with those small wetlands in cropland. The most important wetlands to breeding ducks, but the wetlands most likely to be lost to drainage. We were very happy to announce that that language was included in the 2018 Farm Bill, and we're working right now to implement it so it starts having benefit on the ground for breeding ducks and for farmers and for duck hunters. We're also doing the similar work in Manitoba, where there's a real opportunity to advance more conservation efforts on those small prairie potholes up there as well. So it's Delta's value proposition is look at these big scale drivers of habitat and try to come up with the best outcomes for habitat, ducks, and duck hunters. And one last thing, we certainly understand people are frustrated by a really poor duck season. And I think one of the ways that Delta can contribute to that is through our research program. We know there's lots of concerns about what ducks are doing and not doing. And one of the things we're working on here to deploy next fall is a new research project looking at what puddle ducks like gadwall and green-winged teal as an example, are doing both when they leave the breeding grounds and what they do in Louisiana. Just stay tuned for that. We look to have more updates on that coming soon. But again, just in closing, Delta's programs are working hard to make a difference for ducks and duck hunters. Our work on the prairie breeding grounds to conserve and enhance habitat through things like the Farm Bill, our work to increase direct duck production through tools like predator management and hen houses, and then our research can help ensure better duck seasons to come in the coming years.